Hey everybody, Edward here, and it looks like I do have a wonderful device over here to actually do a little unboxing and review for. I've actually used a number of products from JBL before, and I was really looking forward to getting my hands on one of these particular new devices. This particular model, the JBL Charge 5, little Bluetooth speaker here, was released in 2021. I would probably say around summertime of 2021. And I actually did miss, unfortunately, a really wonderful sale of this device around Thanksgiving or so. And I believe this device retails for about $179, $180 and change. It comes in a variety of different colors. This one's actually like the silver color here, which I believe is going to match like the kitchen area. And I'm hoping to actually get my hands on two of them and use them together, which you absolutely can do. You actually absolutely can do this with previous generations as well too. But here it is, the Charge 5. I was actually able to get it for about $30 off, which is still a pretty good steal. And if I like it, I'll probably go ahead and get another one and put them together so they can basically be a nice little ambient speaker for the kitchen, dining room, and living room. That's pretty much what I do have in mind. And I do have another speaker that I'll go ahead and introduce you to in this video. But let's get at it and get this box open over here. Open these little plastic things down here. There's actually a very interesting box to open. They really made it kind of unique. You actually would assume that basically the top of the box is up here or on the side. But it turns out you just flip it on its back, open this up, and here you go. You can immediately see some little details here. Play and charge endlessly. Pretty nice packaging here. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. Like I said, kind of fancy over here, so let's let it fall out. And you'll see, looks like probably some little things in here that I'll take a look at in just a moment. I'm actually really excited to see this. I gotta tell you, I do actually own a couple of little Bluetooth speakers, maybe about 65 to 70% the size of this particular speaker. And I would say they don't weigh more than just a pound and a half at the most. This, when I actually picked up the box, was really surprised how much weight this device it has to it. It really feels like it's about 4 or 5 pounds. Someone could probably even use this as like a little bit of a dumbbell to some degree. It does have that shape after all. Just no grip. And here it is. Looks very, very premium so far. I like the little exclamation points on both sides. I noticed that piece of the video there was a little dark, so here we are, a little bit of light and a better view of the speaker. So it almost looks like it's about 10 or 11 inches wide, maybe about 3.5 inches tall. Gets a little bit thicker in the middle, and like I said, has a really good weight to it. I would say about 4 pounds or so, and definitely weighs more than my Surface Pro 7 Plus. And let's see here. There, of course, is your USB-C charger. No longer using the old-fashioned, just a regular like laptop kind of style charging port, and you are using a universal USB-C charger port, which is actually really exciting. Let's go ahead and open this up. Oh, is this a switch actually? This opens up here, gives you access to a USB charging port. Now, you might immediately say, if you're very familiar with previous generations of this particular class of Bluetooth speaker, it's missing something. It's actually missing the 3.5 millimeter stereo audio connection that many Bluetooth speakers actually have. It looks like JBL decided not to actually go with that little connection, maybe because they believe that it's just not really used too much. Now, I'll be honest, maybe when I first started using Bluetooth speakers many years ago, like 2014, 2015, was actually still using stereo 3.5 millimeter type cables. And it's been some time since I actually really used one. I actually do also own the Razer Leviathan, the original Bluetooth speaker. I know they recently released a newer version of it, or will be very shortly. And I have the original one from, I would say, 2014-ish or so. And that actually was probably the first speaker I began to actually use the 3.5 millimeter stereo speaker. Now, I really just use the optical and also just the Bluetooth functionality as well too. So I guess I can kind of see where JBL is going with this by removing that particular option, particularly since this is not like an entire whole sound system and receiver. This is just basically a Bluetooth speaker here. I actually probably should go look into seeing if the bigger model, the extreme models, I believe that's the model that's actually called the bigger ones, probably still have it. But here you are. Amazing little device. Here is your battery indicator. When you go ahead and plug in the speaker, you'll see this light starting to light up and go up, I believe, in a particular beige looking color. Up here, we do have a couple of buttons here. Here's your, obviously, your volume up, volume down on the left side here, your power on button, and your Bluetooth pairing button, I believe. You probably just have to hold it down for like 3 seconds, and you can go ahead and pair a new device. This button here, probably very related to linking one speaker to another, so I'll go ahead and be able to test that out sometime in another video when I get my hands on another one of these, if I choose to buy another one. And hopefully I will enjoy this speaker and be able to get another one so you'll actually see what that sounds like, what that experience is like. I believe you can really link simultaneously a lot of these, multiples of these all together. But let me go ahead and try to give you a little bit of a copyright-free, royalty-free sound test, and let's see how this little beauty sounds like. Since I mentioned the JBL Extreme speaker that I actually have right back here a couple of times, I want to go ahead and actually do a little size comparison and also compare with another little Bluetooth speaker I actually have here. This one's the Unz, I believe. There's been a number of generations of this particular speaker. I even have the older one, the Angle, I believe they call it. And this one is from Cambridge Soundworks. It's actually pretty lightweight. I think maybe just about a pound, or maybe even feels a little bit more. And I actually like to use this little speaker to listen to low music or even just announce music to friends and whatnot. Nice little thing to have if you're actually going to enjoy a little dinner or something. But it is a small speaker. It really doesn't have too much bass sound. If you put it too loud, it starts to just act a little funny to some degree. It actually has these little rubber feet, so when it's vibrating a little bit, it doesn't start to roll off the table. This was actually an issue that the original Unz Angle actually had, so they included this little rubber pad underneath, which of course can be semi-annoying to take with you. So I'll put a little bit in front of the JBL speaker here. You'll see it's, comparison maybe about possibly around 60-65% of its size. However, as I said before, this JBL speaker is, the weight on it is definitely, really does give you a solid feeling. And the sound test really does demonstrate how much amazing bass this device actually has. Comparing it now to its older sibling over here, this one I've actually got my hands on in about 2017, I would say, maybe even 2016. This is the Extreme, the JBL Extreme. And right over here, you can see it has its own little carrying belt as well too. It's a little bit of annoying to some degree, but I always worry that if I take it off, it's gonna probably get lost somewhere. This thing definitely has a lot of weight to it. I would say maybe around 3, 4, 5 pounds to some degree. You can probably hold it up in your hand and actually use it as a dumbbell to some degree. That's how much weight it actually has to it. Now the bass on this device is actually really amazing. I've actually used this speaker on traveling with me to listen to some music in hotels. I even used it once in basically in a little outdoor hot tub to kind of have some music playing with myself and fellow friends as well too. So that being said, I definitely did have this in 2016 because I remember that trip and that event as well too. So this speaker definitely very amazing. The bass may actually sound a little bit too deep sometimes compared to the sound, where you might actually get worried there's going to be distortion later. But using the app, you can probably go ahead and basically to mix around a little bit, like synthesizer mixing, to actually go ahead and bring down the bass down a little bit as well too. And you definitely do have that option on this speaker as well. That's something I really did appreciate. So this speaker, definitely very amazing. But as I said, listening to the sound, I was really impressed with how deep the bass is here. You actually do see these little sides here moving up and down a little bit. And it's kind of a little funny thing. It does give you a feeling of how much bass is actually trembling the entire device itself too, hence why it's got the rubber feedback down here. So it doesn't basically start shaking and rolling itself off a table or something like that. And for the price and the size, and of course the weight, absolutely amazing device. Now imagine having 2 of these together or even more, all working together. You definitely do have a winning deal there. So this is actually a really good speaker to have somewhere in midway if you definitely do want louder sound and more bass. I've actually used the Extreme in picnics as well too, and really did have good reach, especially in an outdoor setting. If you definitely do want that, the Extreme might actually be a good option for you instead. But the Charge 5 is absolutely an amazing little speaker for outdoor use. Some people have actually even seen speakers this size using basically biking or those electric scooters and whatnot, as long as this sucker doesn't fall off. Mind you, it does weigh about 3, 4, 5 pounds. And other settings as well too. Like I said, I do plan to have one of these in my kitchen, and I'm planning to get another one to actually entertain and work in sync with this one, and also use in the dining room, so it kind of fills up the entire area with really amazing sound. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that quick review here. I'm definitely more than open to ask questions, so if you have any, go ahead and shoot a comment and let me know if you have any questions or what your experience using the Charge 5 in whatever color you may have it in is like. This device, absolutely amazing, really stunned me. At first, when I first started to play some light music on it, it just felt like basically a $150 speaker, and the speaker that would fit its size. One Saturday morning, after I woke up from a pretty good workout the day before and an amazing evening that night, I got into a whole mood of listening to some 80s music, so there's definitely a lot of them I've listened to. Some theme songs from some TV shows, Miami Vice, for example. I really do like the Crockett's theme. That really sounded amazing. Listening to Take My Breath Away from Berlin, that's the Top Gun theme song. And a bunch of other songs, some Back to the Future songs in there, Bryan Adams, Sting, The Police, of course, and definitely some good old Phil Collins songs as well too. Now that I said that, I'll probably end up playing 1 or 2 later tonight. And the sound, the bass, and the clarity really blew me away. Having it at the volume I did as well too. I'm sure my neighbors that morning probably heard me when they were going out for their morning jog or just getting breakfast and stuff like that. And mind you, this is just one little speaker so far. So if I have 2 of them, you can imagine what the audio sounds. So very impressive. It retails for about $179, and I was able to grab it for about $149. Now, I did actually see shortly after Thanksgiving, I think the price of this thing was actually as low as $129 to $139 as well too, at one particular retailer, and that was definitely a steal. I think that sale only lasted a number of hours before the intended amount that they wanted to sell actually sold. So if you are planning to get your hands on one of these and you do see a price at around $149, $150, might be a good time to actually go ahead and pick it up. You don't know how long you have to wait to get your hands on the speaker at the correct price that I just mentioned. So if you really do want one, I know I did for sure. I waited a little bit and I got it for about $30 cheaper, and perfectly amazing little sound here. Now I will absolutely go ahead and wait for an additional one, another sale, to go ahead and grab myself another one as well too. And possibly even another one for bedroom use. That's another little thing I wanted to actually mention. The little own speaker here, not to actually go ahead and segue too much here. This actually used to listen to some like kind of nighttime chill, lo-fi music, kind of the kind of ones you can actually look online. As I said before, it has a little picture of a Homer Simpson, Bart Simpson driving in a car and serving coffee. So I actually like using this little light speaker here that actually fits on just around my bed and a nightstand. Really nice music to like listen to, even pass out to. Some people want to listen to some ASMR on a more clear speaker than just a phone, or leaving the computer on all night with hearing fans and whatnot. This actually might be a good solution here, a small speaker. And JBL definitely does have solutions for smaller speakers as well too, even the ones that you can actually hang on a bike or on a backpack as well too. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and shoot a like and subscribe, support the channel. More reviews coming in as well too. And I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on some more computer hardware during the summer as Ryzen releases their newer generation of CPUs and whatnot. So go ahead and shoot that subscribe button. You'll be notified when all those videos come out. And of course, you'll be supporting the channel as well too. Thank you again for watching, everyone. And as always, stay safe. Take care.